Good afternoon, guys. My name is Ramis and I'm doing a video on my gardening journey. Basically, over the lockdown period I've been on a mission of clearing my garden and growing all the vegetables that I enjoy eating. I went away on holiday before we had the lockdown, and when I came back, the sort of things that I like to buy: ginger, lemons, honey. There was nothing in the shops. I could not believe it. Now, I'm not going to start a beehive farm, but I decided I'm going to try and grow ginger because it's become very expensive. So I've asked Abby to buy some ginger because when we're feeling like we've got a little bit of a cold coming on, Caribbeans usually have something in their cupboard that they can rustle up and drink. We believe in making our home remedies. So I bought the ginger. I did have a look on YouTube actually how to grow ginger, and I had a go for myself. Now, I planted ginger for the first time. I'm going to show you exactly the size of each one. I've taken them out. I've been growing it in my grow tent, which I purchased before going away on holiday in February. I didn't ever get round to setting it up. So I bought some ginger. I've cut it up. This, wow. Oh wow, I didn't expect that. These were all planted at the same time on the 16th of June. So just over a month now. Oh my goodness. I can see all the roots. So unexpected. I've grown these in a little plug-in propagator. These two were competing like twins. They were competing. But what I did, I started it off in my bedroom. I decided to open up my grow tent, build it, put it together, and try some inside the propagator and inside the grow tent. The other propagators in the grow tent. The one that I started off using was an electric propagator. Not very big, but it could hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pots. So look at my root system. I am so proud. So this is the size of the ginger when I first started, okay, that I've chopped off of a big, I don't even know what to say, just a big ginger. I've cut off using little nodes that's on the top, similar to this. This is turmeric. I'm about to experiment with turmeric. Now, it had a little knob on the top, a tiny one compared to this. In fact, probably this size. And from the 16th of June until now, I've got a plant with a really healthy root system. I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't want to tamper with this, but just to show you the piece of ginger that I used. Okay, so that's one of them. The other one, not sure how big that was. Let's have a look. Okay. This has got some root system. They were all planted at the same time. Similar sizes. Maybe that one's a little bit bigger. But yeah, see, we all grow at different paces. So does the ginger. There we go. 2 roots. And the plant is the same height. This one has a lot of roots. So that's really doing well. The next one, this is the first time I'm looking at these guys. Oh, it's growing quite tall. Oh, got 1 root, but hey, it's a work in progress. There we go, that was just slightly smaller. So I suppose the size makes a difference. But I've made sure that when I picked my ginger, there were little nodes appearing. That's the key. Little nodes appearing on top, similar to the turmeric. Of course, ginger grows a lot fatter than this. And finally, number 4. Oh, not finally. This is number 4. Has this got roots? Yeah, it's got three shoots of roots. Oh, I'm so proud. Slightly smaller, Here's the size of the piece of ginger. And that's what's grown on the top. Now, when looking at different videos, YouTube videos, that's been really helpful to these guys, taking their time to show us how to grow from a rhizome, which is one of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 plants on the go. This one wasn't showing anything, and suddenly it's just shot up over the past few days. Now this is interesting. Maybe it's a bigger piece, I can't remember, but there's more shoots coming out the top. Ooh. Have I got 1 piece, 2 pieces? I'm not even sure. Ah, wow. Okay, this was a bigger piece, similar to this size. And we have healthy roots. We've got 2 little shoots coming up and 1 big shoot. Okay, so each shoot is supposed to be a plant in itself. There's a little node here, I don't know if you can see it. Little nodes just there where the other shoots are coming out from, or it could be another shoot. Could be another plant coming up. Wow, so just shows you we all come in different shapes and sizes. So does the ginger. Now, looking at the sizes and the roots that are attached to the ginger, it's time for me to plant it in a big bowl, which I'll show in another video. This is my first video doing this, showing my gardening process. So nowadays I'm looking out for things that I find expensive to buy, as I said earlier. This is something I don't buy very often. We call it cocoa, and it's a root veg. But I was looking for some turmeric, and on walking inside the shop, I found this cocoa and it had little buds. So I'm addicted now to finding anything that's grown in the Caribbean, whether I could grow it in the UK. Now I live outside of London, so the weather is totally different, a little bit more breezier, probably a little bit more bitter, winters. But this is the next thing. So it was called Edo, I think that's the African name, but we call it cocoa. And we peel it, or you can boil it in the skin and peel that off afterwards. Either way, but usually I would peel it and boil it. And I would eat it with sweet potato, and it'll be a meat dish, and this would be part of the provisions, or you'd call it hard food. But different islands call it a different name. So this is my next experiment. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes. I'm not sure what will come of it. Well, it'll be a plant, if it flowers, I don't know, but hey, I'm semi-retired. 61 and experimenting like mad with all sorts of foods. I find it very therapeutic, people. I went to buy some goat meat to make a special dish, and there was a box of ginger. Don't need to buy any more ginger. And I think people have broken off the nodes that had started growing. Can you see a similarity? So I've got 2 in my grow tent. I'll just show you that I've planted up. I've planted them up in cups because I've run out of little pots. So, oh, we have a root. Oh my goodness. Look, I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. But I said to the lady, can I have these? She goes, oh yes, they're no good to me. So I found 3. I brought them home. 4 in fact. These have been put up. We've got a little root appearing. Oh my goodness. Wow. What someone throws away is useful to someone else. I've got another plant growing, guys. Wow. Put it back in there. Definitely got green fingers. The only thing with me, I have to keep on top of it. But I am so addicted to doing my gardening. The time flies. I don't know where the time goes when I'm out here, but I absolutely love it. There is sign of roots coming. See another one? It's actually got a little bit fatter since it's been in the pot. Right. Wow. This was planted about 4 days ago, guys. But it was that height already. But what has happened, it's now forming a little root shoot at the bottom. So these two I'm going to pot up as well. I have to find some more cups. So that proves that they will actually root. I didn't know whether it would or not, but I had enough soil and some plastic cups to try my little experiment. So at my age of 61, I've started becoming a scientist in plantology. If there's such a word, maybe, but I've created that word for me. Yeah, so cocoa I will plant today, and my turmeric I will also, I've had them soaking. By the way, guys, soak it overnight for about 24 hours and then plant it. I used to think that you had to put rooting powder on everything that you wanted to form roots. I haven't. I've just naturally you know, made it soak, put it in the water and just watch it grow. But the key thing is that it needs heat. The little propagator, I'm not sure what the temperature is, but whatever it is, it's working. I've put these all in the grow tent because there's a light in there, and it's like a little sauna in there. So I water it and put them in there just to make sure that it's successful. I'm so determined for this to work. So all of these are going to go in a big bowl with soil. I'll have to buy a washing up bowl and see how long it takes to grow my own garlic. Well, the plant's forming. What I love about it is that the plant is kind of curled up on itself and it grows a bit, looks like a bamboo. Looks like the Chinese bamboo plant. But this one is all curled around itself, so it's going to unravel and then open out. It is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Well, to me it's fascinating, because if I can grow my own garlic, wow, no, sorry, not my own garlic, my own ginger, then I'll be able to have sustainability and save money on a retired income. I've also got over there some coriander growing. That's the first time I've grown coriander. And my neighbour gave me some mint, which has really got a good root system, and it's starting to spread. So the spices I like to use are thyme, parsley with my fish, chives. I've got plenty of chives. Everything I'm trying to grow that I can have it accessible near the kitchen, which is behind the grow tent. Since come winter I don't normally go out, but if I find out that there's no work this year, that's where I'll be investing my time, in my garden and growing my vegetables. Ah, I forgot. I'm also going to try and grow avocado. I've done it before and just had it as a lovely plant, but I'm going to see how far I can get it to grow in the heat in the grow tent. A little bonus, I've actually bought some mangoes, a box of mangoes, and I've been saving the seeds, again watching the YouTube videos. Now I'm doing my first YouTube. And what you do, you carefully cut along the edge and you take out the seed that's within. So I've got 3 or 4 mangoes growing in the grow tent at the moment, and I can't wait to see whether I'm going to have success with that. I did plant a mango seed years ago, but with the hard shell on the outside. Put it in the garden just by the tree behind the camera, and I couldn't remember what happened to it. I totally forgot about it. But now I'm keeping on top of everything. I'm writing things down and just watching them grow. Thank you for watching my first video on growing my spices. Over the lockdown, I've recently become an author of a poetry book called Black British Poet. And because we're talking about spices, I'm going to read one poem that I wrote called Spice. And this was inspired by my mother, because she used to be a brilliant cook, and she comes from a line of chefs in the family, but in Jamaica they used to have their own business. So she's grown up around food and having to get involved in getting the spices, using the pestle and mortar. But here goes, this is the poem. Spice. Do you want to learn how to cook? You might need a cookery book. People from the Caribbean didn't need a recipe. It's part of their legacy. Your grandmother, she never read one yet. For she was taught by the best. She was a practical learner. It was her job, before going to school, to collect all the spices your grandfather needed for him to marinate the meats. His business was cooking for the local government. It was her job to use the pestle and mortar to pound all the spices together. The spices were sprinkled into the mortar, measuring with only the eyes. The meats would be rubbed in with seasoning and left for an hour to marinate. This was a skill learnt over time, continuing the same routine. Her siblings learned these skills too. Everyone had to chip in and get the preparation done. It was for the various meals of the day. The proof was in the eating. All the authentic spices that lace the meats so succulent in your mouth. This is making me feel hungry now. One of the dishes that my mum used to do, I know a lot of people don't really like eating pork, but she was very good at cooking jerk pork. Nowadays, a lot of people are cooking jerk chicken as the preferred meat. But yeah, I've learned that skill and I can cook it. Jerk pork, oh yes, love a jerk pork in my household. Once again, thanks for watching this video of talking about growing spices and different veg. Hope you subscribe and look at my next video and watch me grow. Thank you.